Friends, it's a wonderful occasion, and I'm really delighted to be here to join others in felicitating the winners of the prize this year. The social sciences is a large category. It includes a variety of subjects, and after some discussion, it was thought that this year's prize should concentrate in two particular fields. This was a decision of the Infosys Foundation, but we found it very understandable and acceptable. And the two prizes, well, the shared prize would be in economics and history, respectively. Now, just to say something about the future, again, I think as it's envisaged, next year there will be two others from the social sciences. It could be the same, could be different, likely to be different, I should imagine. But this is something which would emanate from the Infosys Foundation, and then the jury will work on it. I was very privileged to work with a jury that was extremely distinguished. Some of the members of the jury are present here. Some are not, who are not in the neighborhood. I should mention who they are. There's Avinash Dixit of Princeton University, Pranav Vardhan from University of California, Berkeley, Professor Sugato Bose from Harvard University, Professor Tapan Rai Chaudhary from Oxford, and Professor Chris Bailey, Professor Sir Chris Bailey from Cambridge. Three of the people are historians, both Chaudhary and Bailey, and three primarily economists, namely Dixit, Vardhan, and myself. We had no great difficulty in arriving at our decisions, and all the decisions were totally unanimous. We did have a lot of exchange of email over the period. I was told by Nayan Murthy that I should explain the process, and that was the process. We did have eventually a face-to-face meeting where all of us were present, excepting two who were present virtually through electronic contact. So we did feel their presence, and we did arrive at the decision quite comfortably. And I will first now describe the respective holders of the prize. I take it that the award of the prize is after I complete. Is that right? Yes. All right. I have done something. I have to make a frightful confession that despite being given 2 copies of the program, I've just left it behind in my room. On the other hand, I think that seems like a plausible way of proceeding. So talking about the economics prize, the Infosys Prize in Social Sciences, Economics, goes to Professor Abhijit Banerjee. In recognition of his outstanding contribution to the economic theory of development and for his pioneering work in the empirical evaluation of public policy. The citation reads like this, and I might just add 1 or 2 things as we go along. In widely cited contributions to the former, that is economic theory, Banerjee has presented his novel departures in the understanding of herd behavior in financial markets, and also his analysis of occupational distribution in conditions when the poor find it difficult to raise credit. Both are extremely important problems. Just to explain something about herd behavior, one of the great things about informational economics is that we learn from each other. When we see something happening, some people behaving some particular way, we learn something. I mean, I was thinking that if you arrive at a railway station and see 4 windows for ticket selling open, and 3 of them are crowded, and there's only 1 person buying a ticket in the 4th, I don't think we tend to assume that we will be stupid not to go there. We tend to believe that the other people who are queuing up behind the 3 windows know something about what's going on in the 4th window, namely possibly an extremely complicated ticket. Now that's a case of learning from each other. And this has been studied quite extensively, and a part of the Nobel of 2001 went for this kind of understanding. But it is also the case that this is all learning from each other without we are knowing what we believe we are learning is correct or not. So the whole system operates on the presumption that what is spreading is knowledge, rather than what is spreading is confusion and misunderstanding. Now, the herd behavior accommodates the possibility that the herd may be following not necessarily the most knowledgeable person, but just a person who is confused, but who actually, in a similar way, inspires everybody, and then each other follow each other, and the herd behavior develops. This is a phenomenon that has been studied for hundreds of years, but its analysis, I think, is extraordinarily beautifully done by Abhijit Banerjee. The latter category of work, that is the empirical foundation of public policy, includes Banerjee's approach to the assessment of anti-poverty programs, particularly in the delivery of health and educational services, land reform, capital allocation and banking, the distribution of public goods in India, an early and major proponent of the method of random evaluation in development programs. That's quite a new technique in which the development of Banerjee himself has played a very remarkable part, whereby we all go by statistical analysis empirically to the extent we can, but then again, some of the statistics chosen doesn't have the feature that would allow a random evaluation to be made. So I think it required theory, it required application. Happily, most of the applications were done in India, which is important for India. In the present context, it's also allowed us to consider him for the award, because it's work done in India that's very important. He's himself at the moment in MIT. And this work has been very seminal. Banerjee has influenced the whole generation of young development economists in reorienting their empirical methods. It's made quite a profound impact. He's a rare and exemplary scholar who combines his superb theoretical skills with painstaking fieldwork applied to different parts of India. So that's the citation, and I think, Abhijit, if I may say how much I appreciate that.
Thank you, Professor Sen. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming on stage the winner of the Infosys Prize in Social Sciences for Economics, Professor Abhijit Banerjee. I request Mr. Mohandas Pai, Anchor Trustee for Social Sciences, and Professor Amartya Sen to join him on the stage. And I request our chief guest to present the Infosys Prize to Professor Banerjee. Thank you, sir. I would like to invite Professor Banerjee to say a few words.
I guess there's nothing that's not trite that one can say on an occasion like this, so I won't even try. I mean, this particular prize has to be special to anyone who gets it, but it's particularly special for me, maybe because on both sides, one of the first pieces of empirical research I did in India was on the software industry, and that was facilitated massively by Mr. Narayan Murthy. On the other side, the three people who were in the jury from the economic side, Dr. Sen, of course, but also Pranab Bardhan and Avinash Dixit have been major inspirations for my work. So it's a very rare honor to have all of those people converging on one particular prize. And I'm perhaps even more intensely grateful for this than maybe I would have been otherwise. Thank you very much.